Hey guys, what's up? Time for another video. Remember, if you like the videos, like, sub, silly, comment, share, support the channel if you want. I appreciate the audacity. ASMR. Continuing kind of like the topic that I was talking about recently. And again, just to warn you, this is more of a talking to a wall kind of video, rambling about video games, I guess, psychology. So, you know what? I was thinking, going back, I've talked about, are video games unhealthy? You know what I mean? And I've talked about being able to live with any excuse you have. Maybe something like, when you can only blame yourself, it can be a lonely place. But then if you accept that the blame is on you, can you feel that really bad? Right? So, you know, again, continuing from these last couple videos I did, you know, I had recently played Karna's Revenge for the first time in a few years. I haven't even played it 2 hours and I entered that tournament, right? And I got second, and you know, we were going over the matches, and you know, there's just this kind of like, and the fact is that I'm thinking about it. I'm thinking about it still a little bit, and I think it's unhealthy, and it shows me how unhealthy video games are and why I generally don't play video games anymore. The fact that I'm even thinking about it a little bit, right? So again, the same things I said before, but you know, I was going over the matches and telling people, you know, how the game works, blah, blah. And you know, you might think, well, man, you know, there's from a certain perspective, it's like, wow, you don't really play video games anymore. You weren't feeling good. You were tired. You know what I mean? Your hands are junk, whatever, first time playing, not first time, but had recently just played for the first time in a few years, and you were still able to get second even while being rusty. And it's like, yeah, that part is cool. But then I feel that the negative, I can feel the unhealthiness of video games, the fact that I'm thinking about it, right? And you know, when I was going over those matches, I was saying, you know what? What I should have done, I guess I was just, you know what? Again, I entered on a whim. I got home right before the tournament started, you know, first tournament in 12 years, whatever it is. And you know, I said realistically, you know what I mean? I talk about a killer instinct is important, I think, but it's something that I've never had. And I guess it's one of those things, you know, I'm just lucky enough that, again, raw skill wise, I'm not afraid of anybody in video games. You know what I mean? I know what I can do in video games. Raw skill wise, I'm not afraid of anybody. But the killer instinct in video games is something that I've always lacked. I've never had that killer instinct. I just like playing for fun. I've just been lucky enough that even when I was a kid, really sick, all this kind of stuff, you know, I was able to win without playing a lot. I was able to win tournaments, and even now, you know, I still able to do well. But when I was going over those matches, I said, you can see I'm playing pretty sloppy, right? And I should have sat down and told myself, if I actually had a killer instinct, I should have been like, you know, dude, Clayton, you could win this. You're not even playing that well. Get your act together. Take a minute break. Get your fingers moving. You know what I mean? Shake the cobwebs out. I mean, I was tired. I wasn't feeling good. But I should have... And this isn't me saying that I tried to lose. Not at all, right? I definitely wasn't trying to lose. But there's kind of a fine line between trying to win and trying not to lose. And I felt like I was just kind of trying not to lose. I just didn't really care. And I guess that's one of the problems that... I don't, again, that killer instinct isn't there, right? Do you know what I mean? But I'm thinking about it, and it shows me that video games are unhealthy. So to continue this, I'm going to give you an example. So after I had showed me playing this, right, and we were on that stream, and it's kind of thinking like, man, you know, I should have really sat down myself and be like, dude, just take a minute break. You can win this. You're not even playing good, right? You know? But I was just like, I guess I was just quotation marks happy to be there. I'll take $150, you know what I mean? I don't play. Give me $150, sure, right? But so after that, I was like, let me play some games. And I didn't play Karna's Revenge because I just didn't want to play, right? So you know what I did? I just went and I played, you know, I played some Street Fighter Alpha against the boss, Akuma again, right? Just because it's what I did recently. I just kind of felt like doing it, right? And you know what? I wasn't as tired last night. And man, you know what I mean? Sometimes I'm a fucking machine, dude. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm very confident in what I can react to. You know what I mean? If I'm like, you know, my brain is actually working, I'm not too sick. And you know what I mean? Like, you know, there's these boss challenges and everything. And I played for maybe 10 or 15 minutes and against the boss Akuma, you know what I mean? And It was like, dude, I was just reacting to things so fucking fast. I basically had to let it beat me. And I was like, damn, you know, it's like, I really am, I'm pretty fucking fast, actually, sometimes, dude, and what I can react to, like, when my fingers are working. And so, you know, I shut off the game, whatever. And then last night, I had, my body was hurting a lot just from health stuff, and I woke up to pee. And I was sitting in bed after that, like, you know, I was just tired from being sick. And I was like, damn, I could have won that tournament, couldn't I? And I felt it, though. I felt the unhealthiness of video games. The fact that I even thought about it. Do you get what I'm saying? Did you see? I don't, like I said, I always think that, I think video games are kind of unhealthy the older I've gotten, right? I don't think it's healthy for me to be thinking. That's why, like, people are like, well, would you ever in tournaments again? Obviously, you can still play. And it's like, I already know I still can play. So many years ago, I was making fake names, beating everybody pretty much, dude. Do you know what I mean in these games? It was like, I learned Connor's Revenge, but it's like 10 years ago, whatever. It was over 10 years ago. Whatever it was when I learned Connor's Revenge. Boom, I was being the Japanese. Street Fighter, I was like, just randomly playing this game. Man, I was like, I already know. I was trolling people into these fake accounts. I randomly played Guilty Gear, trolling these people. I still need to finally, I need to finish that eventually, but, you know, the controller shot on me, so I can't really do the impossible combo on it very easily. And I know realistically a lot of people do play that game, so I feel like I need to get my fingers warmed up. But I do want to put out that video of me beating all my haters, because I do have some of it on tape, just trolling people. But the thing is, I already know I can play. People are like, well, geez, obviously you can still play. Why don't you, are you going to enter tournaments? It's like, no, I don't have that, you know, what is there to prove, right? I already knew I can win. I already know I can beat people. I've showed it, like, yeah, you know? But I could feel the unhealthiness of just thinking about it. Just thinking about video games like that, I feel is unhealthy as a person. Right? And it's one of those things, too. I blame myself because, you know, I was talking about how sometimes, you know, if you can blame something else, it makes you feel better, right? But I would just blame me losing that I should have sat down. I should have been like, Clayton, you know you can do this. You know what I mean? Sit down, shake out the cobwebs, you know what I mean? Wake up, stop randomly texting girls and George messaging me, oh, hey, you got to get up, it's your fucking match, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's like just the fact that I'm still thinking about it, it just shows unhealthy. And I feel like some people, again, have talked about, a lot of people, they use excuses. They can't blame themselves, right? Like, and some people, they dedicate their lives and they've never been good at a video game. So I can only imagine what that's like to dedicate your life to practicing, playing video games hours and hours a day. I already play plenty of video games, right? I feel like I play plenty of video games. You know what I mean? You know, so I can't even imagine playing hours and hours every day. That's insane, you know. And then to not even be good, you know, it's crazy to me. But and you see those people, it's like, oh, I got to be able to blame something. Let me blame it on this. It was the lag, blah blah. It was this. Oh, this guy cheated, whatever. You know, I'm not saying there's never lag or anything like that, because obviously there can be. But sometimes you just got to blame yourself. And the thing is, I blame myself for that, because I know what I can do. And I know it's not my fault for really practicing, right? I should practice. Or no, maybe I shouldn't practice, because I don't really care that much. I care enough to talk about it right now, but not to practice like that. But I can blame myself that, you know what, you should have practiced if you want to win. You're very fortunate that you can beat people the way you do without playing like that, right? But again, the blame is on me. And when you can only blame yourself, that can be kind of a lonely place. And then it's like, well, what if you even accept it? And it's like, this is Clayton Chapman. Clayton Chapman, even when I was winning, blah, blah, those tournaments all the time back then, I've been sick for so long now. I'm never going to be a person that can practice, grind a video game like that. I have other priorities. I want to be as healthy as I can be with all my health stuff. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, even if I blame myself, well, where do you go after you blame yourself? This is who you are, right? There's no, oh, I'm just going to magically be better. You know what I mean? Oh, just sometimes I'm going to be more sick. Sometimes I'm going to be more tired. Sometimes my hands are going to be working better, whatever it is, you know, sometimes a fucking machine. But the blame is on me. And when you can only blame yourself, it kind of eats at you too, right? you know, back in the day when I was going to tournaments, man, you know, people were just, God, the community just killed it for me. You know what I mean? It wasn't even just being sick. You know, the community was always constantly making up lies. Oh, you're not really sick, talking shit about you while you play. Oh, you got lucky winning. It's like, man, it killed video games for me, right? So even without that aspect, you know what I mean? The community just ruining stuff for me. You know, if you lose, I guess you could say my ego is good enough that I know what I can do, and I know that I blame myself for a lot of things, right? You know, of course, there's that one Evo where they fucking made me play on a projector screen. That was fucking bullshit, and they fucking knew that, right? You know what I mean? You know, there's definitely been a lot of shady shit that the community does, and I can get angry about that because that is not in my control. But when other things are in your control, you can only blame yourself, right? So, I don't know. And then I guess some guy was like, would you ever commentate games? And well, who would I commentate with? I don't really get along with the fucking community, right? So I don't think that would work. But anyway, I just feel like, you know, the fact that I'm even thinking about it, it just shows me video games are unhealthy a lot of times, right? Especially when you don't have a killer instinct, you know what I mean? And you accept who you are. It's just kind of like, yeah, would you ever enter? Like, no, I don't really. Like I said, that was the first tournament I ever entered in like 12 years. That last one I won, you know, so long ago. And, you know, this was just spur of the moment kind of thing. So, no, there's no real plan of entering tournaments again because, God, even now, I can feel the unhealthiness. I can only imagine what it's like for people, you know, that dedicate their lives to this shit and they're not even good. Christ, man, you know what I mean? And I've said this before, how many fucking streamers do you see? They look terrible, dude. There's dudes much younger than me. You see them on stream, they look unhealthy, they're fat, you can see the slob in their face. They don't even fucking have health problems. You know what I mean? They're probably fucking normal. Their problem is they're just a fucking degenerate, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I don't want to be one of those people, dude. I don't want to be one of those people that doesn't try to be the best version of themselves they can be. You know, you have no idea how hard it is to push yourself to be healthy once you actually have real health problems, and it is so ridiculously hard. And then, like I said, I sometimes I see these other streamers and they're just, I just look at them and it's just, it's pathetic, right? And I don't know, right? I mean, maybe they're having fun, right? I don't know. Anyway, that was this video. I was just thinking about it because the fact that, you know, I was tired last night, I wasn't feeling good, and I went up to take a pee, and then I was laying in bed, and I was like, oh, I could have won that. I could have had an extra $400. And I was like, oh, the fuck I'm even thinking about it is so unhealthy to me. Anyway, I got to work out, and I got to go to the doctor, so I got shit to do. The end.